get underway. Umpires Nichols, Meredith and Ryan.
The Giants have started 8 players in their defence. Cal Ward at the back of the square. He'll come charging through here, Cal Ward.
Adelaide waiting. Who will it be? The Tigers or the Giants? We've got a whistle to start things off. Well, we're going to get that every time there's a whistle the Tigers' way. Waste no time, Cotchin. Down in the revolt direction. Couldn't mark. Martin, brilliant roving. Handball over the top. Lambert. How's that start from the Tigers?
Well, you couldn't ask for a better start in a game. A free kick in the middle of the ground. Trent Cotchin's intent was pretty clear. Just get it in there. Get a contest. And Dustin Martin, that was an elite crumb off that pack. An easiest of goal. A walk-in goal for Kane Lambert. It's the start you want. The crowd is up and about.
Front and centre from Dusty. Just unbelievable. Under 30 seconds for the first goal. You couldn't write the script any better for the Tigers. Hard footed to be won in the contest. This is Williams getting it out to Cornelio. Awkward bounce for Shaw. Here comes Dusty again. Just muscled his way past Cornelio. Free kick's been paid. Advantage has been called and the mark's been taken. And Caddy, a chance to make it 2 goals inside the first 2 minutes for the Tigers.
He's had a great start, Dustin Martin. He needs to keep his head here, Josh Caddy, not get carried away with the crowd. He's done that. He's had a few deep breaths.
You've got it. Going to shape up in the Stevie J manner. That is a perfect ball. 2 quick goals to start the prelim for the Tigers. What about this? Just unbelievable. In the blink of an eye, they have ignited 90,000 plus here at the MCG.
Well, 7 possessions for Richmond, 2 goals. That's as efficient as you get. And it started in the middle with some good pressure. The umpire let it go. He didn't call for a secondary stoppage. He let it go. It spilled out. A fumble from Heath Shaw. And Martin swooped.
Josh Caddy with the second goal for the Tigers. 7 disposals the Tigers, 3 for GWS. Just over a minute played and the Tigers have 2 goals. Nan Curvis gets them moving forward again. Ward over the footy. Cotchin came hard. Held up and they'll be happy to hold it up. Umpire sweating on Shaw. Cotchin, Rioli. Now Haynes. Out to Cornelio. Didn't get it away cleanly. What about the tackle from Townsend? Couldn't write it any better. Martin quickly has been involved in everything for a third. It's just offline.
It's really clear that the umpires are not going to blow the whistle and have a secondary ball up. They're going to let it go. They're going to let it spill out. That is clear early.
We saw last night in the prelim final, 31 points down the Cats at quarter time, and they really didn't get back into the contest. So they need to steady here, the Giants. Try and maintain possession. That's a good ball to Heath Shaw. Over the top, Big John Patton's worked hard into defence. Rory Lobb, this is good movement. Got some space. And out the back, good opportunity. Himmelberg, oh, big hit. Grimes got him. Good call from the umpire. So let's have a look at this. It was almost instantaneously, the umpire said. And there's a fair bit happening. You can see Josh Kelly took exception. And the umpires, I like the fact they're not going to get sucked into a soft 50 or a soft free kick. So,
and there was a great example of what the Giants can do. That started deep in defence, elite ball use. They always had the overlap runner ahead of the footy, and they went from one end of the ground to the other. That's what they can do, the Giants.
He's got a big role to play, this young man, Harrison Himmelberg. He did the job on Jerry McGovern last week as a defensive forward. He'll be keeping a close eye on Alex Rance. An early goal, very important. He struck it really well. And Himmelberg kicks the first for the Giants. And did they need that? That is a big steadying goal after the first 2 just went bang, bang inside a couple of minutes.
Says a lot about his temperament, Das. Was cleaned up by Dylan Grimes. Deep breath, went back and on an angle, and there's a little bit of breeze down around there. He didn't look like missing that. Says a lot about his temperament and his ability to handle the occasion, Himmelberg, and he has a big role to play today.
So that was the contest. Contact just a little late, the umpire said, and Harrison Himmelberg, that's a cool finish.
Very, very good finish.
It's Richmond by 7 points every time. Massive roar whenever there's a restart. Every Tiger hands on the footy. Lambert, who kicked the opening goal, swings a handball forward, got some distance on it. Haynes mops up at the back. Now Ward. Edwards right there with him, and Scully, the marathon man, he kicks quickly, and it's landed just inside the field of play and will be thrown in.
You can already see Richmond's desire to just surge the ball forward, playing good, simple footy. Win the ball in the contest, keep it going in their direction. The Giants just trying to hold on at the moment. Notice that Townsend does have the job on Nick Haynes, playing a defensive role up forward.
There's Toby Green's first look at it. Broad's given away the free kick. Streaming forward, Stevie J wanted it short. Off to the skipper, Ward. Decided to punch it long to the goal square. Himmelberg again's got it. He did really well. He got rid of Asprey. And this young man in just his 16th game for a big moment.
And Dave Asprey has been brilliant this year in one-on-one contests. He doesn't get beaten. He, in fact, marks at Himmelberg. He's the man at the moment.
First game on the MCG, and he's kicked 2 goals. So, very nice reply for the Giants. Comes off for a little rest, Himmelberg, but they were really facing an avalanche, weren't they, in the first couple of minutes? Yeah, and they've steadied nicely. Brilliant response by the Giants. 2 forward 50 entries and 2 goals to Himmelberg, and he had a 1 out. Any forward worth his salt just praised for 1 out, and that's what he got, and he made the most of it.
So Harry Himmelberg with multiple goals for the first time in his career. 2 goals, the opening 2 goals for his side in the preliminary final, and we're back to a point. Tigers just. Bounce will be recalled.
So now it steadies a little bit. The Tigers 2, the Giants 2. Let's see if the game just steadies a little bit now. Who will be the next?
Lobb got first hands to it. Cornelio, who was slow before, dishes off to Williams. They're playing better now, the Giants. Rance, Grimes mopping up. He'll go back to Rance here. Can use Floston, that's what he does. Now he's got a runner on. Does he spot him? Kick didn't have enough on it. Well done, Kelly.
That's going to be a match-up too. Prestia will run with Kelly.
So Josh Kelly now just a patient entry. He's got Patton in mind. Rance, as always, found a way. Stevie J front and centre. Gave it off to Tomlinson. Shinned it forward. Picked up down there by Flostone, who kicks it to the wing. Core. Big body contact. Reba. Well played. Here they go, the Tigers. Great chance for Lambert. Kicked the opening goal. Eventually picked it up. Prestia confronted well. Lambert tried to soccer it forward. But the hard-running Josh Kelly, who's had a big finals campaign, Josh Kelly, works his way through it to Haynes.
Yeah, how cool was that in a pressure situation? Gives it back to Haynes.
Yeah, Richmond were out there, and just a fumble. You can't fumble in finals, and Kane Lambert just had 2 grabs at it, and it kept the Giants in the play.
So downfield against Graham Green. Back he goes to Williams. So they load up again. Patton the target here. Well done by Asprey, just working his way across. Important fist there and the ball over the line.
Love this from Jack Riewoldt. That's all he's got to do. Fantastic contest. Aiden Core had his hands on that footy, but Riewoldt just jumping into the pack, making a contest, brought it to ground, gives his crummers a chance. You don't need to do it perfectly. You've got to provide a contest.
Kelly involved again to Shield. Got a little bit of time from this contest to Ward on the non-preferred awkward ball, and really well marked. I thought he got it cleanly, Asprey.
No, hit the ground.
Okay.
But that was an example of the Giants, how clean they are. As we have a look, you can see there, hit the ground. Just a clean stoppage at half forward. They're very good at that.
Kelly up to 5 disposals, Das. As you called, getting a lot of it. Nankervis here from behind. Taranto just got it out. Whitfield picked it up, gave it to Shield. It comes back in. Hodgson, the skipper. clearing kick, thumping kick, races on. Castagna and Shaw. Castagna got there second. Shaw fumbled. Wilson goes to ground. Good tackle, revolt, and they tie it up. Nervy moments for players of both sides, Richo.
No, very good tackle there from Castagna, a second effort. Nick Haynes as well at half-back, 4 touches. He sets things up with his intercept play.
Rory Lobb, effective hit out to Scully. Tried to find Shield. He's got the high one there, Shield. And he's really sore. Grabbing that shoulder. This is a big moment in the game, Dylan Shield. They're going to let it go on.
That was Cochin. That was a fierce contest.
Let's have a look at this. So both players going for the footy.
Okay now, guys.
And I think he's holding his shoulder here, Dylan Shield.
Yeah, that would be sore. He's going to the forward line.
Holding! Josh Kelly by the jumper.
He's the man early. Josh Kelly, Prestia has the role with him, and he's having his 6th disposal.
Finding an enormous amount of the footy. Might get a look at Dylan Shield and what sort of shape he's in. Patton tried to get out the back. Couldn't quite do it. Front and centre, De Boer working hard. Look at Green, skillful player. Here's Shield. Feels to be moving okay. Long ball to the goal square. Patton's worked hard to get back down there. Off hands. Was it touched at all, or is it a goal?
Sorry? I believe it was touched behind. Yeah, the front of the ball was touched. Check, please check. Okay. Score review. Umpire's call is touch behind. Please check. Review underway.
Yeah, I think the umpire's got it right here. Good call from the goal umpire.
Complete. Decision on the scoreboard.
We're all tied up. What about the courage of Shield? Down on the wing, quickly down forward. That was his shot on goal. And gee, Cochin's contact, was it shoulder or was it head?
Holding. GWS holding.
So now the game has steadied. There's a pattern here, and the Giants are winning the contested footy 16-9. Richmond's only taken 1 mark, so the Giants, now that it's steadied, they've got control of this game at the moment. 7 inside 50s.
Stevie J back to Tomlinson. Not a great kick, it's an awkward one, but it worked out okay. Scully, Shield, bending it back. It hasn't got enough on it. Floston goes back and marks on his chest.
So Richmond haven't been able to get any of this. A bit of control of the ball with a kick and mark.
So Jack Graham involved there, just his 4th game of AFL football. What a moment for that young man. And they exit nicely to Edwards. Martin's pushed forward. Kick in the Castagna direction. He went back with a flight. Courageously, the little man and took it. Dusty wants it short. Phil Davis has got the match up there. Put it in the Rewalt direction. And it was really well done. Tomlinson got back and effected a nice spoil.
Scores a level, 2-1-13 apiece. It's exactly what we expected it would be. It is hard, tough, uncompromising preliminary final football. Throw in inside 50 for the Tigers. Revolt behind Log. Ward was pushed over. Well done, Edwards. Lambert's been in everything, as has the skipper. Gave it to Martin, who bursts his way through. Behind the back. Now Townsend along the ground. It comes to Edwards. Across the face. A behind only. Tigers lead by that margin.
Let's have a look at Dustin Martin here, breaking 2 tackles in that one piece of play. This is where Richmond need to be careful. The Giants will really look to take advantage of these kick-ins with Wilson's long leg, try and get over the back.
So he goes to himself, Wilson, and as Richo called, get it out deep. Patton had career-high disposals in the final last week. Big Jono Patton worked really hard.
Gee, they're important. Tom Boyd in the grand final last year. Contested marks, gold.
23 possession game against the West Coast. Here's Kelly. He's finding a heap of the footy at the moment. Hopper flicked out by Himmelberg, back onto Shields, able to work his way through. Scully's worked hard. Can Callum Ward kick the Giants' 3rd goal from 45 metres? He's short, can the captain? 3 unanswered goals now to the Giants. And what a response from this young team. The skipper, Callum Ward, as steady as you like. And they lead it now for the first time in the prelim final by 5 points.
Great finish from the skipper, deserves a rest, and once again it was end-to-end stuff from the kick-in. Patton's contested mark, that got it all going.
So here's the contact between Cochin and Shield. That is going to be one of the most watched pieces of footage over the next 24, 48 hours. Where was the contact? Was it high? Was it in the head? Or was it shoulder?
It was also what the action was, though, Baz. I think the fact he was down trying to win the footy is going to mean he's fine, because some contact to the head, but he's still allowed to go at the ball.
A reminder, too, that he's on 2 indiscretions. A third, which is only a fine, would mean he would be ineligible for the grand final. Of course, they've got a win today.
He'll have a go here, John Patton. He is a very long kick, and he's going to back himself. Once again, they got the free kick in the middle of the ground, and he likes his chances here, John Patton. He started well. He's in the game. Big contested mark. He'd feel really good now.
Big man, the key big man in the absence of Jeremy Cameron. And they've looked a better balanced lineup with Mummy out, lob in the ruck. It's a high ball, hasn't got enough on it. Himmelberg's in the area again. Big fly from him, couldn't get there. Close to the line, De Boer got the footy after Asprey missed it. Stevie J around the corner, brilliantly done by Graham.
He's hard at it, that young man, and he places the ball out in front of the little man Castagna. He's got to contend with a couple. Well done. Rewalk came in. Effective soccer off the ground inside 50. Chance for Townsend. Getting back there, Wilson. Butler lends some support. Picked up by Core. Now he's got to think his way through it. Wanted Phil Davis. It's still in. And he backs over the line, Phil Davis. And I think with enough disguise to get away with it.
The Giants have been in this position a few times in the game, but they've been able to exit. Richmond haven't been able to lock it in and get time in forward half. Inside 50s, 9-5. They've won the territory battle, the Giants. Richmond haven't been able to lock in.
Graham again trying to muscle his way through. Hopper, a powerful young player, is Jacob Hopper. Missed 11 games this year with finger surgery, and he got it out to the outer wing.
Great work again by the Giants. They get that clearance. Now they're up towards the wing. Haven't got locked in their back half yet. Good sign for them.
Patton asked to do a lot. He's in the ruck now, and he wins that one down against Grigg. Prestia just lost sight of it. Hooley, Prestia again. Kicks the ball. It wasn't a big distance. Graham, Shield. What a recovery it's been from him, but they give the ball back. Prestia now towards the 50. Oh, that's a good mark. Castagna, terrific grab. Plays on quickly, and now Grigg. About 60, 65 from home when he kicks. Not much on. They're all manned up, so it's a high ball inside 50. Caddy might be one of the targets. Rioli, the big fly. Here's Cochin, the skipper. Look at him dance around. Look at him kick. Look at him not get the bounce.
That would have brought the stands down here if that went through.
How good did he look on his feet there, Trent Cochin? That looks just remarkable.
Look nimble, but the Giants have got a big advantage in the contested footy early in this game, 24-15. That's big.
Aggressive play here, Richo, from Wilson. Prepared to back himself in, and it's good. They get it to the outer wing, clear their defence. It's going to come back, though. Brandon Ellis, here's Dusty. Got a tiger saw behind play. Asprey will come back to that. The aggressive ball. Toby Green had a look at it. Here comes McIntosh. Clever little kick. Found Rioli. Rioli had the short one onto Butler. And he decides he's just going to pop it to the dangerous spot 30 metres out. There seems to be a lot of Tiger numbers free. Can they get their hands on the footy? Grigg. Here's a big opportunity for Castagna. Taken high. And a free kick goes the way of Nathan Wilson. Let's have a look at that free kick.
Yeah, not much in that one. His head was already down at slight contact.
Almost nothing in it, in fact, Richo. Caddy's played it well here in front of Patton. Handball back inside. Haynes read it well. Left his man. Back to the general. Patton's handball for De Boer. Does it sit? Yes, it does. Graham tackling. Didn't affect the kick. Steve Johnson goes to ground. Which way? Against Stevie.
Time back on.
Rance quickly. What a duel that is. What a game we've got. Giants by 4 points, and Graham long to Hooley.
Bashar Hooley had 20-plus disposals in all games this year, bar a couple. Been a really consistent performer. Oh, what about the fly from Castagna. Unbelievable. Rioli's a chance out the back. Tomlinson's been solid. Just gets the job done week in, week out. Now Taranto flicks it out to Stevie J. The hard-running Scully. Back to De Boer, and they've done well. Hopper. De Boer took his eyes off it. They've got a little bit of time, and as Richo said, this has been a little bit too easy at times of late for the Giants. Richmond's forward pressure has been a real trademark. Play on's the call, so Williams has got to fight his way through. Spearing ball's a ribbon kick. What about that to Stevie J? Lead provided by Green. Short handball to Scully. Scully's dropped it. Going to bend it around. Out the back. Tomlinson to ground. Green dangerous. And the numbers there, and McIntosh able to step his way through.
Wide kick. It's really wide. Caddy didn't get the bounce. Core there with him. And the ball over the line. Interesting. Tomlinson deep down in defence.
Let's have a look at this. Would have been mark of the year just about. Jason Castagna didn't pull off. Your point about the Giants, their slick use of hands at half back. They've been able to get out of that pressure situation well early. They're so good at that.
Tomlinson deep forward. Edwards, gee, that's a good tackle. Not sure about the disposal. Shield has been so hard at it. De Boer got it moving. Tough one to mark. Brilliant Mark Williams.
Yeah, the use of their hands. They've had 41 handballs to Richmond's 18, and that's what gets them out of trouble, the Giants. 2 or 3 handballs in a row, as we have a look at that, Williams mark. 2 or 3 slick handballs in a row, and then they're out. And then they use their skills like Wilson did off half-back before.
Doesn't kick a lot of goals, Zach Williams. Only 7 this season. This for 4 in a row for the Giants. Inside 50 when he kicks. Hooks it. It's not a good kick. Behind only. Giants lead by 5.
You guys have mentioned Dylan Shield and the fact that he's just been so tough to stay out there after copping that knock. He does have an unstable shoulder that does sub-lux in games. It causes pain, but he can still certainly function with it. That's exactly what he's doing, putting up with the pain.
Thanks, Lingy. Big one-on-one win there for Phil Davis with Jack Rewalt. Stevie J, he's thinking he might size up the goals here, Stevie. That's what he does, all the way to the line, and in the end an easy one for the Richmond defence to take care of. But since the first minute and a half, it really has been a lot of momentum the way of the Giants.
Yeah, since that opening onslaught, the Giants have just looked a more settled team. Their ball use has been better. 2 different styles. Richmond want to go long. The Giants are happy to use hands, link up and run out of trouble.
Floston, Grimes in front. Well done by Williams, just knocking the ball away. So, Lingy, it's not going to be the first time it's asked today or tomorrow, but you think Trent Cotchin's okay for that incident with Shield?
I believe he is. The fact that he was going low and hard at the footy, I would call that incidental contact, and even though it was a little bit high, maybe a free kick gets paid there at best. I think that's fine. He didn't choose to bump.
Yep, don't think you miss a grand final for that one, Lingy. Agree with you as the Giants go forward again. Patton, no free kick. Now a ground level ball. De Boer flick back out to Whitfield. Clever kick round the corner. Himmelberg's already got a couple in the first quarter. McIntosh covers a lot of ground. Little awkward handball. Just a nervous one there. Castagna's now got an issue. Delidio got hold of him, and just an awkward handball that put his teammate under a bit of pressure there.
Yeah, it didn't hit the handball target, and you have to do that in games with as much pressure as this. That was Brett Delidio's first involvement in the game, a tackle.
Game 250 tonight, 243 of them for the Tigers. Castagna, Delidio again, scooped it up to Williams, then got another go at it. He's in there, bottom of that pack. Cotchin and Delidio together.
Dustin Martin has gone to full forward, isolated in the goal square.
And Graham in the end wins the free kick. So you heard the umpire, he said that Delidio pulled it back in. Dustin Martin at full forward. It's a high ball, won't get quite that far. Haynes has pushed Rioli.
He didn't need to do that there, Haynes. He's been good early, but he had the smaller opponent and probably just went a bit early on the contact. He just needed to hold his body weight there. He's a bigger man. Wasn't a lot of contact. Player felt contact and made it look a little bit better than it was, Rioli. This is a big kick for him. Richmond need to settle. They've done well actually to hang in from that opening couple of goals. The Giants have looked a bit more sleek.
Carries one of footy's most famous September surnames. Great Uncle Morris won the Norm Smith Medal. Uncle Dean played in the 2001 Grand Final. Cyril a star with the Hawks, and he joins them with a goal. It was a big finish, cool finish, and scores a level. 3-3 apiece. Free kick, as Richo said, that probably didn't need to be given away.
No, it was a long high ball to 40 metres out, and they had numbers there, the Giants, so they'd be disappointed they allowed Richmond to kick a goal there. We've got a good game on our hands. Two different styles of play. Very intriguing.
Terrific finish from Rioli, and the Telstra Tracker sprint efforts highlights those small Richmond forwards, Josh Caddy, Rioli, Butler, the efforts and intensity and speed with which they run. So important in that forward line to today's game.
Here they go again via Prestia, over the head of Shaw. Dusty's playing full forward. Rioli couldn't get a handle on it. And Whitfield did well to Shaw with a bit of composure to Kelly. Can he run onto this? Will he take on Edwards? He did. Nice little goose step. Did really well. And then jammed it forward on the right foot. Brandt, too good. Just a genius. How good was his body work there on Himmelberg? Seen it so much. And the follow-up run, Rance gets involved now to Ellis. This is Nathan Broad. Transferring kick. Wasn't quite where he wanted it to go. Grimes has got a little bit of time, and he's got targets further afield. Well played. Hard run from Lambert.
Kicked the first goal of the game. Nankervis, the ruckman involved, on the logos, out of sight. Just pops the kick up. Not a great one. Not a great moment for Haynes again. Got a bad bounce that time. Shaw, clearing kick, lob under it. Nankervis worried him out of it. Here's Lambert again. Loads up. Dusty on the lead. Dusty on the chest. The fumble. And then the mark. Plays on. Goes to the goal square. Caddy holds up. Handball over the top now. Castagna the goal. They lead by 6 points.
I think that was what you call a handball to relieve the pressure to someone else there from Josh Caddy. Anyway, the goal goes to Richmond, to Castagna, but they nearly mucked that up. A crucial error out on the wing. It was a tough one to take from Rory Lobb, but when you're a marking player, you need to wrap those up. He kept it in play for Richmond.
Some individual brilliance from this man, Dusty.
It's a good kick. It was out in space. It drew Dustin Martin into the football, that kick from Kane Lambert. And that there is called, I'm going to release the pressure off me.
Not sure about that handball over the top. They got away with that stuff. That could have been a disaster. Off the back of the square came Shield. Kelly. Oh, he saw Ward into trouble. Cochin has got it. Dusty 2-on-1. That's normally in Dusty's favour. But this time he sure read it well. With all his experience. Premiership player with the Magpies. And he finds Tomlinson.
That was because Haynes got back. Again, he's such a good intercept player, Haynes. Made it a 2-on-1.
This is Tom Scully. Covers more ground than anyone in the game. As we know, Rance from behind, front and centre. Couldn't quite get it. Green picked up by Taranto. Floating footy forward, and Asprey did really well.
Back a metre. There.
He's going to have to go down the line, Dave Asprey. You can see the Giants there. They've squeezed Richmond to that outer wing side of the ground. He has to do that down the line.
Steadied here, the Tigers. They've kicked the last two of the game.
And that's exactly what the Giants wanted there. Blocked up the exit, long kick down the line, win it back. That is really good defence there from the Giants.
So Tomlinson back in defence now, it appears. He sends a long ball down the line. Himmelberg and Rance might be out of bounds on the full, is it? Yes. Again,
Right there, Harry.
Alex Rance, a worry wherever he goes for the Giants in the air.
Play on.
Look at that crowd. You can hear it. You can see it. Canelio, Grimes, Taranto. Ball comes loose. Out the back now, McIntosh. His handballing hasn't been terrific. Interesting kick from Hawley. Hawley Dooley. Canelio under it. Goes back and gets it. That's better. More conventional. Drives towards half forward. Through the hands of Ward. Little scoop up. Going to be okay. Was it? Townsend just got the ball moving. Kelly the other way. Gang tackled. Butler got him. Revolt.
the Tigers' trademark this year. The gang tackling pressure. Kelly tried to take on a couple, and they got him. Well done, the little man Butler. Going to send this one deep into attack. Out the back, Caddy. In front, Castagna. Caddy now takes possession. Ran into a brick wall, the Giants.
Gee, that's a few times now, Richmond, when they've gone forward. They've actually had an outnumber in their forward line. Richmond are getting heavy numbers there, and I don't think the Giants are adjusting. So if that stays that way, you'd think Richmond are just going to keep piling on the goals.
That's unusual in a final. They have, as Slingy just said, an extra forward a couple of times. We've seen that with a minute to go in the first quarter. Haynes can't keep it in, and they love every bit of it, the Richmond faithful.
It's been a great game, hasn't it? Richmond got the jump. The Giants responded and kicked 3 goals in a row. Richmond the last 2, so living up to the hype this game so far.
View from above, inside 50, less than a minute to go in this opening term. Kelly again, so influential, dished it off. Cornelio's high ball, Hooley marks. So they can reload here. 42 seconds on the clock. It's a high ball inside 50. Dusty, revolt. Davis the clearing kick.
Got a good setup here, the Tigers. They will win possession back. De Boer gives chase. Ellis with some support from Rance. Shorts it. Little fumble from Broad. They really had their defensive wall set up. They mucked around with it a bit here, the Tigers. Down to 18 seconds. Rance over the head of Hawley. Shield. He's trying to get it going forward. Big contest. Asprey ran past the footy. Is there time to score? 6 seconds. Taranto looks up. What's on offer? The lead from Patton came out. Well played, Tim Taranto. With just seconds remaining. And they've handled it. Played on the siren. And listen to the Richmond Army. They are ecstatic with that, Jono. Patton can't believe it. A little wry smile from the big man. Great start to this prelim final, Richo.
Dodged a bullet there, Richmond. They made some mistakes, but then John Patton gave it away. What a great first quarter, Darcy.
Strap yourself in for this one. Stevie's getting involved. 4-3-27, a 1-goal lead. The Giants, 3-3-21, the MCG prelim final.
Pretending I'm Superman so I can save the day. I swear that I would see Santa if I could stay away.